Okay, so the first episode of the Stories of Sodor ever has like 4 goofs. 3 of them are goofs that I bet you've never noticed before, and the first one is pretty obvious. Okay, so something that Victor would do in this first season is repeat clips over and over and over again. As you can see in this clip, the crane is in one position and then teleports back to where it was before. I think a better solution to making a clip longer would simply be to slow down the footage. The next goof appears when Thomas and Percy first meet. This one is very hard to find, and if you didn't spot it, then that's okay, because it's not very easy to notice. It's most noticeable if you slow down the clip. Let's do that. There, did you catch it? Let's play that again. As you can see, Thomas and Percy are in one position, and then teleport to get closer. Most likely because a short part of that little scene was cut. In the shot before Colleen bumps into Percy, you can see Diesel's buffer on the bottom left corner of the screen, even though Diesel had stopped. Also, in one clip, you can see Colleen rolling towards Percy, and he's pretty far away from him. And then in the next clip, she teleports so that she could bump into Percy. In this shot, there is a short frame missing. It's most noticeable if you slow down the footage. Okay, so something else that Victor would often do in the first season, I don't think he does that now, but something he did was that he put a character's face over the character's face that he actually had in that clip in editing, most likely because he put the wrong expression. Sometimes it's not too noticeable like here, but in legality, you get this, which just looks bad. Something similar to this also happens during the scene where Thomas meets Colin and Diesel, which also looks pretty bad. Oh, and speaking of earlier when I mentioned clips being repeated over and over and over again, as you can see in this clip, Thomas is entering the station. Then in the next clip, he teleports to get farther away from the station. It's really annoying. And again, another clip of a face being put on another character's face. I mean, sometimes it's not too noticeable, but here it simply looks whack. At one point in the episode, Mr. Zorro says that Arthur has been dead for 20 years, when his death occurred in 1923, and the story Ghost takes place in 1937, so it's actually been 15 years. In this shot, Thomas is leaving the station, and then teleports in the next scene. And I'm honestly surprised that the wiki does not mention this goof, cause this is bad. It's so bloody obvious. What? In the scene where we first see the German spies for the first time, Victor pronounces Jacob in German as simply Jacob, when in German it's meant to be pronounced Jakob. In the Stories of Sodor, the Furness Railway opened in 1844 and ended in 1907, when in real life it was actually opened in 1846 and didn't end until it was merged with the LMS when Parliament passed the Railways Act. In Edward's story, Edward says that most of the engines on the Furness Railway were non-faceless, when he meant to say faceless. Funnily enough, this goof was actually corrected in the episode Industry. When Gordon says,
"Cracking performance as always, Diesel,"
Diesel Axel is shown to be next to Percy, but in the previous scene, he derailed the gun. In Edward's nightmare, you can see some vans that say Deutsche Bahn AG. However, the company wasn't founded until 1994, and the nightmare must have taken place during the 1940s. Peter's war crimes took place on May 8, 1945. However, the fight between Russia and Berlin took place between 23rd of April 1945 to May 2nd, 1945. In one of the shots where Rheneas is being chased by Bob 2.0, as I like to call him, you can clearly see the fact that he has derailed and is coming off the track. Like, how does this happen? There are 3 goofs in my favorite Season 4 Part 2 episode. Or Season 4B, as Thomas Taken Play 24 calls it. In one shot, there are no rails on a turntable. I got no explanation. How the can there be a train's turntable model without tracks? Why? Was it a glitch or something? I think so. Edward hallucinates the banana splits as engines. However, this episode takes place in 1962, while the Banana Splits Adventure Hour did not premiere until 1968. Also, Randolph's wheels spin faster than he's moving.
First of all, thank you Sodor for including me in this video. I'm very happy to do stuff with you. Anyway, continuing on with the Goof video. In this episode, Sodor stated to have no technical issues, unlike the VR Class 07 in real life, which did in fact have one issue: hotboxes when running at high speed. This problem was so bad, all but the first were delivered by road, and then they were practically confined to Southampton docks as a result, so that technically breaks real-world history.
Peter's railgate sentence happened in September, but Godget's Day takes place on August 31st, so the episode takes place in August. Peter was sentenced to 15 years in railgate, so that must mean he was in railgate for 14 years and 11 months.
We know that Jeffrey died in this episode, but he still has his eyes open despite the fact that he was killed on impact. This one is very forgivable as his twins model probably never has an eye-closed face. But I'm not too sure how you see it, Sodor, or anybody out there, but I actually think it's also forgivable, as I do remember from seeing a few action scenes where people died and all that sometimes their eyes are actually still open. So I guess that also could be possible for engines, that their eyes don't always close.
This one is very interesting. When this episode was first released on Patreon, Victor accidentally said non-faceless instead of faceless vehicles. This was fixed before the episode aired on YouTube, though the non-faceless version should still be found on Patreon. Now, yes, I know Thomas Taken Play 24 was technically gonna say this one, but I forgot to write in the script, so in order to not redo the lines again, I'm gonna do this one. So, it says that in 1965, Neil, Clive, and Matthew celebrated their 100th birthday. However, that is not true. They were built in 1856, not 1865. That was actually the build date of Skarloey. So, yeah, mistake.
We're just going to play the clip, or better the Sodor, because I don't think neither of us can explain this one.
You're the only engine on Sodor that's never pulled coaches.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit!
So, I don't know what happened, but while filming Munitions, Thomas's scrap model didn't have a face. So Victor tried as hard as possible to hide the model not having a face. And in this shot, he simply couldn't hide it. Thomas's face disappeared and then reappeared again. What? the intros. In this shot, Mickey is with Jeff, despite the fact that Mickey died in Fallout.
In this shot from the season 3 intro, Barry is with Jeffrey and Spencer, but Jeffrey died before Barry was saved from the scrapyard and Spencer came to Sodor. And now we come to the Sodor special non-faceless vehicles. Sodor mentioned this before, and that is that in fact Peter is seen with James, Patrick and Bear, but the latter two weren't introduced yet, and Peter died. Victor probably never planned that, so it's kind of forgivable in this case, which I can also understand. I mean, I would have never thought about planning out the complete series, completely 100%, so it's really forgivable. At least I can forgive Victor, and the fault is actually mostly put on revenge. I want to thank you, Sodor, as well for including me in this. I'm always looking forward to do stuff on my channel, which is probably linked below, as well as on your channel, the one you're currently watching. I am really glad I found you and that you are almost my best friend in this massive world. Let's hope for more crazy content about the stories of Sodor on your channel and Sodor's history on my channel with the both of us together. See you soon, everyone. Have a great day and see you in the next one. Goodbye.